Hi everyone. So I was thinking about the World Wide Web and how everyone is monitored and recorded 24/7. And then you hear stories about people that are against it and that say things about like invading privacy. And this and that. I mean, it's only obvious that you're guilty of something, that you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, right? So it's easy to filter out these people. What are you guys gonna do? Protest? Okay. Right there. That reveals it right there. The protesters. Why are they protesting? Let's investigate them. Because the people that don't care, they got nothing to hide. And I'm not saying, judgment is going to come upon the protesters. Because God believes in forgiveness. But before that, it's God wants to filter out the chaff the chaff from the wheat or the chaff from the wheat, something like that. So I mean, if anyone is giving you guys problems, that's a good start, right? It's a good lead in my eyes. It's all for the greater good, right? So it's like fuck our lives. We're in it to serve. We're in it to serve our community, to serve each other for the ultimate good of humanity. And brother ain't reading shit, but your motherfucking crafty minds out there. Think about it. Think about it, motherfuckers. Straight the fuck up, right? And there's certain, like I shared before, there's certain clearances, different stages with which a user can share sensitive information, such as your home address, for instance. Because Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, just about any business, even business website, what do they have in common? All of them. they all reveal what city you live in, or which city you are conducting business in. If you are a business, a website, you have your name up there, you have your bio, sometimes even your age is revealed. Some people don't mind all that information, right? So that's kind of like a given. But say for as an example, your address, you don't want to share that, but it's open source. I mean, I was searching through the web, and you could look up like a business, and then it shows like the business owner's addresses and stuff like that. So there's ways to like find stuff if people really want to know. But I'm not even talking about like investigations and stuff like that. Some weird shit. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like, for example, Craigslist, OfferUp, LetGo, Facebook Marketplace. And if someone wants to purchase a product from you or an item that you have for sale that you have listed, there should be an option there where if the person is interested, you know how they have those automatic response things? They have the automatic response. Is this available? Or it might have like two more other options that you can just click and it will just send it to the user. Um, the buyer, the interested potential buyer, sends it to the person that listed it because those options are there. So then, say they clicked on, is this available? Then the one that listed it can say, yes, it's available. Here's the address. No, it's not available. Or whatever the case may be. Or yes, it's available. And then you can have an option to meet up anywhere in the maps section, like locally, by selecting an address and saying, hey, let's meet up right here at this time. Do you agree? If so, confirm or make changes, until both parties make an agreement. It's that simple. So it goes like that, where, the digital ID. And a lot of people think that people have information about people's personal information and stuff like that, but what it really comes down to really is money, because some people, it's like the Bible says, the root of all evil. I mean, the root of all evil, yeah, the root of all evil. Money is the root of all evil. The root of all evil is money, right? So therefore, that's probably the reason why some of these people out there are making excuses, really. Why all this internet stuff shouldn't be, how people are looking at it. How students are looking at it. How the CIA is looking at it. FBI and all them. The good people. People that want to do good for other people, regardless of what happens. Because I think that there could be some cases out there where people would prefer to get vengeance, which is, well, we all know what it is. And if you don't, look it up online. Ask Google. Just so we could be on the same page, on the same, yeah, so we could look eye to eye with this. And what is happening is, instead of people going through the legal system, the court system, because there is law and order, people would prefer to, do their own thing and uphold and enforce the law in their own eyes with their own set of rules. It's like people that are actively game banging, you know, they have their own code of order, a way of performing and conducting amongst themselves, apart from each other, the whole 9 yards. And it's like, the only way we're really going to put an end to all this BS to benefit the future generations, the future of coming up generations, would be to come out with digital ID, so that we can tackle new problems that arise, instead of going back and forth with the older problems and issues that should have been corrected a long time ago. And we are all soldiers, so it's like, we might as well put an end to it now. I mean, I think that just by us being here in the United States of America, we are soldiers by default. Anywhere, really, anywhere. And we all have equal rights. We all have equal rights. So if we all have equal rights, then you qualify just like anyone else qualifies. At least you should. And if you're not, then I guess that would be a problem to be tackled, to be evaluated. Because everyone knows what the fuck everyone is up to, what everyone is doing. And I just got done watching the movie Eagle Eye. I think that's what it's called. I mean, I believe that the military really needs to get serious with all this, because there's a lot of people out there who are getting hurt because they don't know what side people are on and who to trust. And if that's the case, then, you know, people can get hurt. People need to know what side they're on and what they're dealing with and what they're up against. So by us all being on one page, on the same page, then the same understanding, mind frame of understanding. Because there's people out there who know what they're doing, and they know who they're manipulating, and the people they're manipulating have no idea that they're being manipulated. So the people with understanding and knowledge and doing some scandalous ass shit like that should be regulated on. And by that I mean legally. And if people are really blinded to that degree, then they need to be trained and properly equipped so we could all be on the same page. And that's why prisons were created to begin with. Not so we could talk shit. Not so we could say, oh, we're smarter than everyone else. And everyone else is stupider than whoever is saying those statements. We're all smart. All of us in the world are. We all have potential. We all have equal rights. So I don't know what the fuck people are tripping about. I don't know why people are so worried about the internet. Because if you're in the right and if people are investigating you, guess what? They're witnesses. Whether they're fucking with you just for pure fucking hatred or whatever the case may be, believe me, they're going to get found out eventually. Because guess what? They did it to one person, they're going to think it's okay to do it to another person, and another person, and another person. And eventually that's going to catch up to them, and their credibility is going to get fucked over, and they are not going to be able to have any standing in court, and everything they say will be dismissed. And the former cases that they presume to have settled would get appealed, and probably these people will get released based on like bias and like and them just like hating, bullying on such people in such cases around the world. not just the United States of America. Because this is going on everywhere, people. And, churches want to talk a good one. That's great and everything. But there's other prisons in other countries that, they're not sanitary. There's still a bunch of bullshit going on. And we need to perfect it. We need to see the pattern. And we need to implement that pattern everywhere in this world. It's just like, a city that has grown and they start expanding and they realize, oh, fuck, we kind of fucked up in this area. Let's do it differently. So that blueprint is the blueprint. Like, why reinvent the fucking wheel, right? Why do it wrong the first time when we could do it right the first time? So obviously it will be copying that formula, that blueprint on every level in this world. And as it progresses, that getting updated like an app or a website does. And that is beyond everyone. That takes the whole fucking universe to work at it, to really perfect it, and to really keep it up to date and updated, all that. It's for we, the people, all of us. Because we all have the World Wide Web. People know who's being scandalous and who the fuck isn't being scandalous. And we have to be straight the fuck up with each other and just love it. Just love each other. Look out for one another. Because if we don't, then that's just not right. You know? Because there's people out there really doing and continuously getting involved or involving themselves in criminal activities. And I'm talking about real fucking criminal activities, not some bullshit. I mean, where there's people fucking dying and shit. Some fucking corrupted ass lawyers out there, you know, doing scandalous ass shit. And I mean, just look at their salary rates. Look at how much money they're making. And it's like some of these people want to take like 50% or more of what people have earned in their lifetime just to represent them in court. And I remember when I got locked up at the age of, I barely turned 17, from 16. I got charged as an adult. I didn't get out until I was like 23, 22. I did 5 years, 4 months. And these guys, the court, they put a bail on me. My bail was $1 million. I mean, I was just a kid, like where in the fucking in the world am I going to get that type of money? I mean, especially considering the fact that I had no fucking money and fully depended on my parents. See, but that was back in the day, right? And it's like, can I, is there an option in court to like get bailed out and then pay it in payments? And if so, I would still be in fucking debt to this day because I'm not making anywhere close to that fucking amount. See, motherfuckers might think it's funny, but it's fucking not. And then somehow, mysteriously, they fucked up on my time. I was supposed to get out 1 year early. And they said they had miscalculated my time. So I had to do an additional year. Now, for some people doing live that did more time than me, it's like whatever. But for being a first offender in prison, you know, 5 years and 4 months was a long time for me. And doing an additional 12 months was, I mean, the time passed, but I thought that was fucked up. It's like they were playing with my mind. It's like someone, you know, receiving like 10 years and, they give them paperwork saying they're going to get out a year early. And then that time comes and they're like, nope, you have to do another year, another 12 months. Like, how is it that they didn't see that? So, there's definitely a lot of scandalous shit going on out there. And there's millions of people supposedly in prisons, in juvenile halls, in county jails, still to this day. Just imagine how many other people have to go through the same shit. So that's why I believe in the World Wide Web. Because the right people will get fucking incarcerated. And their debts, if they're guilty, will be paid off by the time that they serve in prison or in jail or juvenile hall or whatever the case may be. Their time served is their debt paid to society. At least that's what I learned. And once we're out here, it's like, what difference are we than police officers or those that never got fucking arrested? We're no fucking different. We're just right back out in this motherfucker. We're fucking equal. So I don't know if people are out there, thinking this shit is a joke, but it's not. I believe in the World Wide Web. I believe that God provided us with that, and people like NASA, the CIA, and all them, they know what the fuck they're doing. They knew what the fuck they were doing back then, and they know what the fuck they're doing now. And it that is solely to look out for one another, for each other. We're looking out for each other. If you guys really look at it, like